I know somewhere in here is a receiver that I'm going to use in the HobbyKing Tomahawk. Where will it be? Oh no. G'day and welcome back to RC Model Reviews, the build table. Ta-da. And what have I got here? This is the Tomahawk. It's a flying wing from HobbyKing. It's the Durafly brand. It says in the corner there. And quick specs, it's 670 millimeters. This is probably closer to your, what the hell is it called? The Bonsai, closer to the Bonsai than anything else. 670 millimeter wingspan, it's 360 millimeters long, a 20 amp ESC, weighs 220 grams without battery and FPV gear. So it's not sub 250, so the Bonsai still wins if you want to go sub 250. And it's got a Multistar 2205, 2150 kV brushless outrunner motor fitted as standard. Let's see how it flies. Okay, here we are at the airfield. Let's give this thing a throw, see how it performs. That was an abject failure. I think we'd better fly the model instead. Well, that didn't turn out too well, so maybe we'll take it out of the box and see if the plane inside flies better. It is, I'm not going to unbox it. You know we don't unbox things here. Jump cut. So here she is amidst the pile of mess on the bench. What do we got? Well, bits of foam. Yeah, okay. There's a wing, as you would it's a canopy. Obviously there's a canopy. There is a wing. There it is. As I say, it's quite small really, isn't it? Look at that. Only just fits into frame. It's so big, but there you go. It seems to have survived the journey without any significant few dents here and there, but par for the course. It's got a bit of carbon in it. Ailerons seem to be, or elevons seem to be fairly well hinged. It's got the little multi-star motor on the back. Yeah, that's okay. Is that a plastic mount? Yep, got a plastic mount. It's got a 20 amp ESC, not a mini quad ESC because it has a beck in it. You need a beck to drive your servos and your receiver. So there you go. I'm just going to find some stuff. Oh, here we go. Alternative canopy. This is another canopy they give you now. Oh, I'm not that impressed with this because it's designed so that you can whack a Mobius or whatever, or Run Cam 2 on here. But look, so far ahead of the center of gravity that when you put a camera on there, it's going to make it nose heavy. Would have been nice if somehow they'd been able to get a camera up here perhaps, away on the CG, so it's not going to make too much difference. I don't know. I guess it's, if you want to keep the nose out of view, you've got to have it right up the front, but it will change your CG quite a bit because this is a small model, and even a Mobius, 50, 60 grams that far from the CG, because the CG is about there, so it's going to make it a bit nose heavy. Right, we've got a couple of bags with crap. That's critical resources and parts, crap. Got a prop, some plastic bits, a couple of fins for the top, and we get some stickers. Everybody loves stickers. Look, there's heaps of stickers on this sheet of stickers here, different colors. You can customize your Tomahawk by colour. You could have orange, green, red, or cub blue. And, oh, it's out of shot, sorry. Ooh, there we go, blue. So, and you've got numbers. Look, you can have any number you like as long as it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 8. Where's 7? There's no 7. My lucky number's missing. Oh no. And these, I guess, go around the fins. Anyway, you get a snot load of stuff, and it's not going to be a big build, is it? Look at it. Look at it. There's not much to do. I've got to find a receiver, throw it in there. And a battery. Oh, they sent me a couple of Turnigy Nanotech 1000 batteries, which is great. And yeah, then we're good to go. I'll give you a close look at this because it's one thing I noticed missing in some reviews is you don't get a close-up look. You just get, here it is. I'm going to bring you up real close. Let's take a macro view of the model. Okay, let's take you on a tour from back to front. There's that motor, that HobbyKing, or was it? Yeah, multi-star motor. There you go, and there's even a washer for the prop. And as we move forward, you can see the servo leads have come through there. There's the ESC. It is a fixed wing ESC, not a mini quad ESC. It's got a beck in it so you can power your receiver and your servos. Carbon rod here, essential even on a little model like this, but it is still a bit wobbly. I'll show you in a minute. We've got an XT60, which is quite surprising. I was expecting an XT30 and an 850 size milliamp battery, but this is going to have a 1 ampere hour battery, a 1000 milliamp battery, which is, to me, seems a little bit heavy, but we'll find out. There we go. There's the beck wire that plugs into your receiver. That's all pretty simple. Now if we go over to the, if I can find them, there we go, servos, no name, nondescript, there's no labelling on those servos. We've got a Z bend on the end of the arm there, but if we go up here, look at this, woo, there's the ball joint, yay! yay! Ball joint, yay, wonderful, fantastic. That is quite good for a model size, you know, because you can get a bit of slop if you have Z-bends, and it's not so bad in the servo here, but when you've got 2 Z-bends, slop can build up, and that's when you can get flutter and all sorts of crap happening. So that's not too bad. There's where our fins go. The quality of the foam moulding, as you can see over here on the tips there, is very good. It's Durafly. They usually have pretty good foam moulding, no problems there at all. But I'm going to show you something now that I wasn't that impressed with. Okay, so here's our model, and just look at this. Look, it is a bit wibbly wobbly now. It is a small model and relatively light, but I think once we get a battery in there, that's a bit wibbly wobbly. Not so impressed, but we'll find out when we fly, I guess. Oh, one thing I didn't point out before, the front end plastic. This is plastic. It's not foam, so it's not likely to deform quite so much, although I still remember my Wingnetic and the plastic nose on that, which was really crap. FPV camera goes in there. If you can get your finger out, there we go. Cooling vents. Yeah, it all seems fairly well thought out, actually, to be totally honest. The normal hatch here, it's got plenty of cooling holes, place for your FPV antenna to come out. Most people seem to mount their FPV transmitters in here. There's a couple of bolt holes there for the, I forget what it is. Anyway, the Eternity one, the metal cased one, Ultimate or something, I forget what it's called. Anyway, you can bolt your, if you use the right video transmitter, it just bolts right in, otherwise you're going to have to use some cable ties or some Velcro or something to hold it in. Actually, I'm not a great fan, to be totally honest, of having your video transmitter gear on a removable hatch, because your camera is fixed in here. There's a moulding hole in here. If I turn it around, you can see, hole in there for you to put your camera in, which is quite nice, but the temptation often is just to rip the hatch off, put stress on the cables because the camera is still anchored in the model. You'll probably see that when I go to fly this thing. I'll forget and I'll rip this and goodness knows. So yeah, it'd be nice if it was all mounted in there in some way, shape or form, but this is a little bit more practical, isn't it? And this is that other hatch I showed you before. Got plywood reinforcement in here. That's a good idea. It's quite a bit thicker there, very stiff, very strong. That's good. Your Mobius or run camera is going to rip the hatch apart. Apart from that, it's otherwise identical. Now here's something a little weird. Here are these little fiberglass, I'm pretty sure they're fiberglass, they're certainly not carbon, it's too heavy. These fiberglass underfins here which go into there, they're actually kind of sharpened. I mean, I wouldn't want to actually whack into anything with one of these. Like, you know, if you ran this over the top of your head, as I'm inclined to do on low passes, it could leave you with a nasty scar. But I guess it has to be fairly durable. It clips in here, there's some carbon in there, so hopefully that also, because otherwise this would break off pretty easily if you came in and spun around sideways. So we'll see how durable that is. It's got stickers on the bottom already, you didn't notice that before, so it's all stick it up underneath, that saves you a bit of time. Apparently the CG, from what I've read, is about here on these wires. Doesn't have it'd be nice when you're doing a moulded foam model to have the CG moulded into the foam. I've seen a lot of models do that, but this one doesn't. Now I watched Albert Kim, he said the CG was too far back here, and he moved it forward a bit. I watched Mario and RC Shim, and he had his CG too far forward, moved it back to there, and he liked it. So where does the CG go? We will find out, because no one seems to agree on that particular thing. The small plastic, this plastic thing goes right under here, so when you land in the bull poo or the cow poo, this will wipe off quite nicely, but leave a horrible smeary mark on here because this is foam. The plastic will clean up okay though. So that's an old glue, CA I suppose. There's no instructions. This might be a pre-release, I'm not sure, but there's no instructions. So I'm winging it. I'm just using my best guess. So I'll glue these on, and then of course on the top got these fins. I'll glue those on, receiver, battery, good to go. Oh no, frustration alert. Now this thing's quite good. It has some little, you can see what I've done. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got to find it. Oh no, here we go, underneath, sorry. Let me get this back into shot so you can see what I'm talking about. See how there is a little, if I go over here, little hole in the side of the fuselage, a little plastic piece there which enables the antenna for the receiver to come through. Nice. There's one on the other side as well, but let me show you something intensely annoying. Here's a piece of wire. I can push this through here, like so. Ooh, see it goes onto the inside. Hopefully that's in shot. And you can see it goes all the way through. But when I try to push my antenna through from the other end, even with my, look at this, it hits an obstruction, so it doesn't line up. There's probably a void or something in the foam around the end, so the wire is actually going into the hole in the plastic. It's hitting the end. I've been doing this for 5 minutes. I can't get the bloody wire through the side of the fuselage. It's probably just a one-off, but it's annoying. That's such a nice feature, but it's actually slowing me down now. Never mind, and you'll notice, look, I've run out of height. I've run out of free sky receivers. I never thought it would happen. I don't want to take one out of another model, so I've had to put a high-tech receiver in here. I'm going to have to use the high-tech transmitter and a high-tech receiver to fly this thing. That's the first time I've flown high-tech for a long, long time, but I'm out of free Sky receivers, that's all I can do. So no telemetry for me. Well, none that's usable. Okay, I give up, not farting around any longer, I want to get this thing in the air. Here we go. Problem solved. Low-tech solutions to high-tech problems. Yay. High-tech, get it? Arm's too good. Anyway, so that's that. Put the battery on charge, and I better find some FPV gear. Okay, here's another thing that I wish manufacturers would consider. Now, when you're going to put FPV in something like this, you're obviously going to need some voltage from somewhere, and this is the only normal connection to the battery. So it'd be nice if there was just a couple of little pig leads off here with a JST, so that when you have a lot of these VTXs come with little JST connectors, run an auxiliary power lead off the XT60, so we've got something to connect up our FPV system to. Now, of course, you can connect your transmitter to the balance lead, but transmitters don't come with balance lead connectors, so you have to make your own up if you want to do that. And also, there's always the damn annoying situation where you plug your battery in and away you go, but you've put the hatch back on, you've forgotten to plug in your FPV transmitter. Not too bad when the hatch is as removable as this one, but it's still annoying. You might have even thrown your model, pulled your glasses down, and oh, I've got no video, what's going on? Because you didn't plug in your transmitter. So just a couple of extra leads off there, just where it joins onto the XT60, a couple of spare leads into a JST or something else, even just leave them bare so that we can solder them onto our video transmitter. Small thing, but it'd be really, really nice, because the Durafly tends to be focused on a much quicker experience. Get it out of the box, make it fly. If you've got to do this sort of farting around here, it just makes life a little more, it just takes the polish off a bit, but it's only a small thing, but the difference between a good product and a great product are the small things. Right, so here's the FPV installation, piece of cake. I've got the receiver here with a couple of cable ties, that's all it needed. I've mounted this is a mini quad video transmitter, as you can see. Mounted this here with a washer either side, so there's my antenna firm mounting for my video transmitter. This one comes with a JXT there and a servo type connector, so I'm just going to put plugs on my, actually I might make a balance connector up to plug into the JST so that I can leave that, no, because that, and I'll solder some wires. I'll solder some wires to the XT60 there and do it properly. It'd be nice if there was no soldering involved. I love models where you don't have to solder, because most people don't like soldering. HobbyKing, if you want to improve this, make it a no solder installation. That'd be great. So yeah, and then I'll just put a camera in the front. I've got a few cameras to look at, got lots of run cam cameras. I'll see what fits, but I got some cameras recently from CADX, which look very interesting. So I might take an opportunity to review those. I'll just see what's in the box, and then you'll know what I'm going to use. Ladies and gentlemen, another problem. Notice how the edge of this fin here is cut to be parallel with the trailing edge. So because this is swept back, we have to have a bit of an angle on the back of that fin. Well, they sent me two fins, but I'm going to show you the other one here. You might notice something a little bit wrong. Yeah, they've sent me two left-hand fins instead of one left and one right. Yeah, nothing that a little bit of cutting won't fix, but attention to detail, please, HobbyKing. Well, it's actually going to be a bit ugly, because if you look here, this is thicker on this side than that side, so I'm just going to have to fill the gaps with hot glue. And it's not really a symmetrical thing, is it? So never mind, see what happens. Okay, we're just about there. Got everything installed. Put the camera in last. It's only a very light camera. I'm going to use the RunCam Micro Swift 3, which has just arrived, so a bit of a test of that as well. But the CG is way, way forward with the, look, it's very nose heavy with the provided Turnigy battery, the 1000 Nanotech. This thing here, it's like way heavy. I'm thinking I might put something a little lighter in there. They reckon it'll fly on 3 cells. Oh, damn, because I lied before. I did make a balance lead adapter up, but I've made a 4-cell one up. So, oh man, I guess I'll make a 3-cell one up. This would be nice if this had been a quick build, but actually it's turned out to be quite a long one because of the few little hassles and issues we've had. But never mind, I will, I've got an 850. Have I got a 6? No, it's only a 650. I'll leave it, jump cut. What have I done? Well, I've done this. Look, come out. 850 Nanotech. It's perfect balance. I think the balance point's dead right with this 850 milliampere Nanotech battery instead of this much, much heavier battery that I've lost. Here we go. Difference in size, difference in weight. I'm going to test flight with this. This is an old, slightly puffy one, so I won't get very much flight time, I'm afraid. It's pretty knackered. I don't have a good assortment of batteries, but that's the closest I've got. I think this is going to be a much better option than that. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go amongst the catastrophe of the build table. I finally managed to find an HS1771177, whatever it is, camera in here. You see I put it in the nose. Actually, I found two, but I'm going to have to confess here, When I put this system together, I just grabbed some patch leads out of my spare cables box, and one of the problems with that is that I didn't actually check that the wiring on the patch leads was compatible. So the first camera I plugged in, smoke came out because the plus and minus were reversed. I wish they would standardize on these things. Honestly, I've got a big box of cables which are basically patch leads between FPV transmitters and cameras. And for some reason, just unlucky, I grabbed the wrong lead and the plus and minus were reversed, so smoke came out. So there went a HS1177 camera, damn it. But I have got one in there now. And I've charged up my, which one is it? This is the better of the two batteries, I think. It's a little bit harder, so hopefully it'll have more ergs in it. And I think we're just about ready for at least a visual line of sight flight. See how this thing goes. Let's see. I can hear rain. You can't have too much weather, eh? Well, let's go and see what happens anyway. Here we go, we're running Mobius at the moment. Look at this rainbow out here. I hope you can see it on the Mobius. Look at that. There's a lot of rain about to descend on us, but as I said in my X-Jet video, rain, who cares? It's just weather. So let's put my cap on and put my sunnies on because it's very sunny out the other way. Let's plug things in here. Battery. Ta-da. Well, there we go. Making a noise. Plug in the FPV system. Wind's getting up. Woo! Lots of weather. We love weather here. Let's try and get all the wires pushed in. Put that down there. Oop, come on, get inside. Get in that hole. I'm not totally 100%. Oh, got a wire over there. Not totally 100% sold on this hatch system here, but I guess we'll find out. Come on. Oh man, the wires just want to keep poking up into the way. Is that? I hope it's down because the drag of that antenna is going to be. Oh, I didn't do up the. I have to go. Look, forgot to tighten up the prop. Here, pre-flights. So important, eh? That's better. Now we've got too much up trim, so. Oh yeah. Whee. It is quite wobbly. Not bad. Yeah, I'd say given the turbulence, the wind's now changed, it's coming right from behind me, so it's really rough now. This is actually flying alright. Didn't need too much up trim on because I've got the trims working. And it's, yeah, it is wobbling around. Wings will do that. Little wings in particular will always wobble. But this is flying nicely. I'm suitably impressed, HobbyKing. After much farting around, we finally got it to fly. Not due to HobbyKing, what? No, most of them were just my own problems. My own fault for not getting things sorted, but yeah, I mean it is getting buffeted around, but I've got lots of other models that'll be just as buffeted in this weather. So yeah, this is all right. How fast will it go? Vertical? Yep. Those throws are good. That CG is exactly in the right place, I can tell you now. And it is probably about 10 mils in front of the servo leads, which is not where HobbyKing supposedly suggested it go. Yes, you can see you get that wing wobble, eh? You get a lot of that. After that sun there today. Wow, look at it getting tossed around. Ooh, I'm probably getting seasick about the FPV on anyway. I need to get a decent camera and we'll FPV it next time, so line of sight, perfectly happy. Perfectly happy. Yeah, it's nice, it's predictable. Even with turbulence, it's predictable to fly, which is always going to be a bonus. And with this 850 battery, it's nice and light. I wouldn't go with 1000. It would add too much weight, I think. Key to performance in small wings is lightweight. That's what we've got here. Nice light wing, just what we need. Now others have said that hauling on up doesn't produce a loop, it produces a roll. So let's check that out. Shall we fill up elevator, see what it does? We'll get it going away from us first and then we'll Try doing fill-up elevator and see if it does a loop or a roll. Well, mine does a loop, yay! And I think that's mainly because haven't got over-exuberant throws, and I've also kept it light, so that wing isn't having to work too hard. Let's bring it in. Beautiful, that was lovely. So there you go, in summary, the HobbyKing Tomahawk. It's quite a good model, I actually quite like it. It is similar size to the Bonsai. Here's the Bonsai I was going to build up. Let's just do a side by side here. It is a little bit bigger than the Bonsai, as you can see. Let me just pull out a bit so you can, which way is pulling out? I can never remember. My wife tells me off all the time. Come on, oh, wrong way, here we go. Oh, I'm fully out. So yeah, it is a little bit, let me turn it around this way so you can see. A little bit bigger span than the Bonsai, but narrower chord. So the area is probably not too much different. The Bonsai, of course, is a lot lighter, but it's hot wire cut EPP, so it's not a very nice finish. This is moulded, so it's much nicer finish. You get the stickers and everything. The construction was okay. I had a few problems, but they were some of my own making. A bit of quality control to be looked at. This little antenna routing thing here didn't work on one side, and I got two left-hand fins instead of a left and a right. Apart from that, not too much to grizzle about. Yeah. All in all, I have to say, not too bad. And I'm going to show you where the CG is on this one. And I think this is just about dead right. Excuse me while I do this out of frame. Woo. Let me camera up here for you. So you can see roughly where that CG point is. It's about there. There you go. So it's about 10 or 15, about 15 millimeters in front of where the servo wires run. So that's, I wouldn't want it any further back, especially in rough conditions, and any further forward, and it's going to be too nose heavy, especially with that big 1000 milliamp 10G battery. I'd stick with the 850, honestly, the Graphene 1000. In fact, let's get the scales that don't show the blood and see what the weight difference is. Here is the Graphene 4-cell 1000. It comes in at a hefty 144 grams, and here is the 4-cell 850 Nanotech. Wow, that's like 44 grams lighter, so that makes a huge difference. And this model is really viceless with the lighter weight. I can see if you load it up with a heavy battery, it's going to get snappy on you, and when you pull elevator, it'll do a squirrely roll. Lighten it, keep it light, keep it really light. I'll do some tests later. I'm going to play around. I might see how much longer flight you get with the 1000 milliamp, but I don't think it'll be too much longer. One of these 850s will be heaps enough, because this is a 45C, I think, is it? 45C, I think, I can't remember. Anyway, it is the high drain one, the high capacity, high C one. So that will provide all the current that motor's going to need. These batteries are a bit old, unfortunately. I'll get some new ones eventually, save up and buy some new ones. But yeah, it is a thumbs up for the Tomahawk. Here we go, Tomahawk from, actually, what's a good point? What is the all-up weight now with a battery in it? The all-up weight is 338 grams. Shame it's not sub 250, isn't it? But hey, if you give this to someone that's at sub 250, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know unless they got their scales with them. So yeah, it's near enough, absolutely near enough. Flight handling at low speeds is great. I had fun, you saw it was very turbulent, but I was still able to slow it down and fly close to the ground, even in turbulent conditions, without having to be too worried about anything going wrong. So I'm happy with that. High speed, it's good. It waggles like hell, but wings do, especially little ones. No grizzles there. Right, so thanks for watching. Questions, comments in the usual place. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you don't care, I don't care. Don't forget to tune into my X channel as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.